Hey everyone, welcome back to another one shot. Please enjoy it. The main sunset on the hills like a dark throne, commanding respect from everyone who laid eyes on it. But tonight something was different, something was wrong. Kim Taehyung's black Mercedes pulled through the iron gates at exactly 11:47 p.m. His men had already cleared the as they did every night, but as they walked towards the front door, he felt it a strange tingling sensation at his back of his neck. Something in is not right. Thing was not a man who got scared. He had faced more than he could count. He had man in with his bare hands he had looked into the eyes of the enemies and watched them beg for mercy. Theon did not feel fear, but tonight his heart was beating like little faster than usual. He pushed open the heavy oak door and stepped into the darkness. The entire house was pitch black, not a single light was on. Jungkook then called it out, his deep voice echoing through the empty hall. No answer. Thankful his husband Jeon Jungkook was always home when he returned. Always the young man would run to the door, throw himself into Taehyung's arms and shower him with kisses. It was their routine, their scared ritual, but tonight nothing. Taehyung searched for the light switch, click, nothing. The power was out. Jungkook, baby, where are you? Taehyung called it again. His voice softer this time. This isn't funny. Still no answer. Taehyung's hand instinctively went to the at his waist. He was the most feared boss in the Seoul. His enemies trembled at the mere mention of his name, but in the moment, in this darkness, with his precious husband nowhere to be found, Theung felt something he hadn't felt in years. Fear. He walked through the hallway, his footsteps silent on the marble floor, his eyes adjusted to the darkness, scanning every corner, every shadow. The house was too quiet to still. Where is he? Things mind raced through possibilities. Could someone have taken Jungkook? Could an enemy have his house? His security was. But what if a sound, soft, barely audible thing froze? It came from the living room, a faint rustling sound, like the grip detonated on. He moved towards the sound, every muscle in his body tense and ready. His heart was pounding now, loud in his ears. Jungkook, he called it one more time, his voice barely above a whisper, baby. Baby, if you are hiding, please come out. You are scaring me. No response. Then stepped into the living room. The moonlight streamed through the large windows, casting its shadow across the floor. And there, in the corner, he sight a figure, a tall, shadowy figure trapped in white. It stood perfectly still, watching Thang's breath catch in his throat. His hands trembled slightly as he raised his "Who are you?" Thang demanded, his voice shaking despite his best effort to control it. "Where is my husband? What have you done to him?" The figure didn't move, didn't speak. Thang took a step forward, then another. The moonlight hit the figure's face and Taehyung's blood ran cold. A ghost, a pale white-faced ghost with hollow eyes and a gaping mouth. Taehyung's heart stopped. Taehyung stammered, "No, no, this can't be." The ghost took a step towards him. Taehyung took a step back, then another, and then it was that would have embarrassed him if anyone had heard. The ghost leaped forward and shouted, "Boo!" Tang's leg gave out. He fell backward, landing hard on the floor. His away from him, a scream tore his throat, a high-pitched, terrified scream that echoes through the entire mansion. Ah! And then the ghost started laughing, not an evil laugh, not a ghosty laugh, a familiar laugh, a laugh Tang knew better. Jungkook, Tang whispered, his voice barely. Breaking, the ghost pulled off the white seat, revealing a grinning mischievous face with sparkling doe eyes and bunny teeth. Tete, Jungkook scanned his giggle uncontrollable. You should have seen your face. Oh my god, you scream so loud. I have never heard you screaming like that before. Taehyung stared up at his husband, his mind struggling to catch up. His body trembled from head to toe. Sweat had broken out his forehead, and he could feel his pulse pounding in his throat. You, Taehyung breathed. You scared me. Taehyung was still laughing. Jungkook was still laughing, clenching his stomach as tears of joy streamed down his face. I know that was the point. Oh my God, Tete, your face was priceless. I wish I had a camera. Theon tried to stand, but his legs wouldn't cooperate. He was still shaking, his whole body vibrating with leftover fear. He had never, in all his years of being so terrified, not when he had been held, not when he had feared death, faced death itself. But his childish husband, dressed as a ghost, had reduced him to a screaming mess on the floor. Jungkook thinks said his voice weak. That wasn't funny. But Jungkook wasn't listening. He was still laughing, doubling over as tears rolled down his cheeks. It was so funny. You fell. You actually fell. The merciless mafia boss Kim Taehyung fell on his butt and screamed like a baby. Taehyung finally managed to put himself up. His pride severely wounded, he brushed off his expensive suit, trying to regain some dignity. I did not scream like a baby. You totally did. Jungkook crept, finally coming down enough to speak. I thought I was going to die laughing. Tian's expression was a mixture of shock, embarrassment, and annoyance, but beneath all of that, there was something else, something warm. Something that softened his heart even when he wanted to be angry. His baby, his precious, childish, annoying, adorable baby. Come here, Thang said, opening his arms. Jungkook bonded over and threw himself into his husband's embrace. Thang held him tightly, putting his face in Jungkook's soft hair. He could feel the younger man's warmth. He smelled his familiar accent of vanilla and baby powder. You scared me to death, Taeyong murmured against Jungkook's head. I thought something had happened to you. I thought someone. I'm sorry, Tete. I didn't mean to really scare you. I really wanted to play a prank. Taeyong cupped Jungkook's face in his hands, his thumb stroking the younger man's soft cheeks. A prank? Jungkook, you almost gave me a heart attack. You are the mafia boss, Jungkook pouted. You are not supposed to get scared. Apparently, I am when it comes to you. Taeyong admitted, shaking his head. You are the only person in the world who can make me feel this way, terrified and revealed at the same time. Jungkook pouted, turned. I love you too, baby, even when you try to kill me with. Later that night, as they lay in bed, Taehyung started to feel strange. His body was hot, uncomfortably hot. His head was pounding, and every muscle in his body ached. He tried to ignore it, wrapped his arm around Jungkook and pulled him close. You are warm, Tete. Jungkook mumbled sleepily, really warm. Taehyung just hummed in response, his eyes closed. He could feel his heart racing, his skin with sweat, but he didn't want to worry his husband. Jungkook had already felt guilty enough about the prank, but as the night wore on, he started shivering uncontrollably, his teeth chattering despite the heat from his body. He couldn't stop shaking, couldn't get warm, no matter how highly he held Jungkook. Tete, Jungkook's voice was suddenly alert. Tete, you are shaking. What's wrong? Taeyong tried to speak, but his words came out slurred. Nothing, just cold. Jungkook sat up immediately, turning on the bedside bedside lamp. The night revealed a thin, pale face, his flushed cheeks, his gaze. Oh, no, no, no. You are burning up, Titi. Taehyung tried to wave him off. I'm fine, just tired. You are not fine. Jungkook's voice was high pitched and panicked. You are sick. This is my fault. I scared you and now you are sick. Taehyung reached out his trembling hand, finding Jungkook's baby. It's not your fault. It was just a shock. I will be fine by morning. But Jungkook wasn't listening. He was already out of the bed, running to the bathroom to get a cold cloth. He came back and pressed it to Taehyung's forehead, his hands shaking. I'm so sorry, Jungkook whispered, tears welling in his eyes. I'm so sorry, Tete. I shouldn't have scared you like that. I knew you were tired. I knew you had a long day, but I was being selfish and childish. And Jungkook thinks voice was weak but firm. Stop. Jungkook bit his lips, tears spilling down his cheeks. But you are sick because of me. I'm sick because of my body is reacting to being startled. Then correct it gently. It's a normal response. It happens. It could have happened. Thang had never been scared like that. Thang was always so strong, so composed, so untouchable. And Jungkook had broken that. He had made his husband scream in fear and made him fall to the floor like helpless child, and now Taehyung was suffering because of it. I'm going to take care of you, Jungkook declared, wiping his tears with his back of his hands. I'm going to make you better, I promise. Taehyung smiled weakly. You don't have to. I want to. Jungkook interrupted firmly. Let me take care of you today, please. Taehyung's heart melted at the sincerity in his husband's voice. He nodded slowly, reaching out to touch Jungkook's cheek. Okay, baby, okay. Jungkook sprang into action. He brought Taehyung a glass of water, made him drink it slowly. He found the medicine cabinet and got the fever reducer. He placed a cold compress on Taehyung's forehead and covered him with a light blanket, carefully not to overheat him. Throughout it all, he kept talking, his voice a soothing presence in the dark room. I remember when I was little, Jungkook said softly, and I got sick. My mom would sing to me. She said it. Will you sing to me? Jungkook blushed. I'm not good singer. I don't care, Taehyung murmured. I just want to hear your voice. So Jungkook sang a soft, gentle lullaby that he remembered from his childhood. His voice was sweet, melodic, soothing Taehyung's nerves. Taehyung felt his eyes getting heavy, his fever pulling him to a sleep, but he fought it, wanting to stay awake, listening to his husband's voice. I love you. Taehyung whispered, You know that, right? Jungkook's voice cracked. Thank so much. I'm not mad. Taehyung continued, his voice slurring slightly. I could never be mad at you. You are my baby. You can always scare me if you want to. Jungkook laughed, but there was no humor in it. Just guilt and sadness. I don't want to scare you anymore. I never want to see you like this again. Taehyung shook his head weakly. No, don't stop. I like seeing you happy. I like seeing your smile, your laugh, everything. Tears streamed down Jungkook's face. Tete, I mean it. Taehyung insisted, his voice barely a whisper. Even if you scare me, I will never be mad. Never. You are the only one who can make me feel alive. Jungkook leaned down, pressed a soft kiss to Taehyung's burning forehead. Just rest, okay? I will be right here. I'm not going anywhere. Taehyung tried to say something else, but sleep finally claimed him. His breathing evened out, his body relaxed into the mattress. Jungkook stayed by his side all night, never leaving. He checked the temperature repeatedly. He held his hand and whispered assurances, even though Taehyung couldn't hear him. I'm sorry, Jungkook whispered to the sleeping man. I'm so sorry. Tete, please get better. Please come back to me. I need you. He checked Taehyung's temperature. Dawn broke through the curtains, painting the room in soft golden light. Taehyung stirred, his eyes fluttering open. He felt weak and tired, but the burning heat was gone. The fever had broken something in the night. He turned his head and found Jungkook asleep in a chair beside the bed. His head rested on the mattress near Taehyung's hand. The younger man looked exhausted, dark circles under his eyes, his cheeks stained with dark tears. Taehyung's heart ached at the sight. His precious baby had stayed up all night taking care of him. He reached out, gently stroked Jungkook's ear. He touched feather light. Jungkook stirred, mumbling something in his sleep before his eyes slowly opened. Tete. Jungkook's voice was rough with sleep. Are you okay? How are you feeling? It's better. Taehyung assured him. Much better. Jungkook sat up straight, his eyes scanning Taehyung's face with concern. Your fever gone? You are not hot anymore? Do you need anything? Water, food, medicine? Taehyung laughed softly, touched by his husband's worry. Jungkook, baby, breathe. I'm fine. The fever broke. Are you sure? Jungkook asked, pressing his hand to Taehyung's forehead. You are still a little warm, Jungkook. Taehyung catch his hand and pressed a kiss to his palm. I'm okay, thank you. Thanks to you, Jungkook lower lips trembled. I'm so scared today. I thought I was going to lose you. You are not going to lose me. Taehyung said softly. I'm not going anywhere. You can't get rid of me that easily. Jungkook laughed, but it was watery. I don't want to get rid of you. I want to keep you forever. Forever. Taehyung agreed. Forever and ever, Jungkook leaned down, pressed his forehead against Taehyung's, his breath warm against his husband's lips. I am sorry. I'm so sorry, Tete. I should never have scared you like that. It was stupid and childish and thanks silenced him like with a kiss. It was soft, gentle at first, a tender assurance that everything was okay, but then Jungkook deepened it, pouring all his fear and guilt and love into the kiss. When they finally pulled apart, both were breathless. I told you, Tang murmured against Jungkook's lips, I could never be mad at you. But I made you sick. Jungkook protested weakly. You made me feel alive. Taeyang corrected. You made me feel alive every single day, Jungkook. You are the only person who can break through my walls, the only person who can make me laugh and scream and feel. Jungkook's eyes were shining with unshed tears. I promise I will never do something like that again, I said. Taeyang smiled, his thumb stroking Jungkook's cheek. You can scare me as much as you want. What? Jungkook looked confused, but Tete, I mean it. Taeyang's voice was gentle but firm. If it makes you happy, if it makes you laugh, then I don't care if I end up with a fever every night. Your smell is worth it. Jungkook shook his head. No, that's not fair. You shouldn't have to suffer because of my stupid pranks. It's not suffering, Taeyang insisted. It's love. That's what love is, Jungkook. It's putting someone else's happiness before your own and seeing you laugh, hearing your beautiful, bright laugh of yours. It's worth everything. Jungkook said, pouring his face in Taehyung's chest. I don't deserve you. You deserve everything, Taehyung said, wrapping his arms around his husband. Everything and more. They stayed like that for a long moment, holding each other close. Jungkook's soul slowly quieted, replaced by soft sniffs. Promise me something, Jungkook finally said, his voice muffled against Taehyung's chest. Anything. Promise me you will tell me if I ever go too far, Jungkook said, pulling back to look Taehyung in his eyes. Promise me you wouldn't just let me do whatever I want. I need you to be honest with me. Taehyung considered this, then nodded slowly. I promise, but you also have to promise me something. What? Promise me that you will always be yourself, Taehyung said. Promise me that you wouldn't ever try to change who you are for anyone, not even for me. Jungkook smiled, a rare really smile this time, I promise. Good. Taehyung kissed him again after this time because I love you exactly the way you are. My childish, playful, loving baby. Taehyung. Jungkook laughed, the sound bright and happy. And I love you, my scary, merciless, secretly soft mafia husband. Taehyung, not. I am tough, Taehyung insisted. Sure you are, Jungkook teased. That's why you screamed like a baby last night. Taehyung cheeks flushed. You are never speaking of that. I am going to tell ev- everyone. The whole world is going to know how Kim Tae-hyung, the merciless mafia boss, got scared by a bedsheet ghost. You wouldn't dare. Watch me. Tae-hyung growled playfully and pulled Jungkook down into the bed, pulling him beneath his body. If you tell anyone, I'll have to punish you. Jungkook's eyes sparkled with mischief. What kind of punishment? The kind that made Jungkook forget all about his prank. Later that day, Taeyang was feeling much better. Jungkook had insisted on cooking him soup. They sat together in the kitchen, the meal. Sharing the meal, I can't believe you actually know how to cook, Taeyang said, taking the spoonful of soup. This is really good. Jungkook beamed. She said every good husband should know how to take care of his partner. Your mom is a wise woman. She also said I should marry someone who would protect me. Jungkook nodded, his eyes soft. I think I choose well. Taeyang reached across the table and took Jungkook's hand. I will always protect you, always. I know. Jungkook squeezed his hand, and I will always take care of you, even if you are the scariest boss in Seoul. Taeyang laughed. I think that's the first time someone called it called it me scary in a loving way. It's because I know the real you, Jungkook said. The sweet, caring, soft-hearted man underneath all the rough exterior, the man who cries during sad moments, the man who cuddles me every night, the man who can't even hurt a fly. Thanks, expression soften. You make me want to be that person, that good person. You already are a good person, Jungkook insisted. You just have a complicated job. My job is terrible, Thang admitted. I have done terrible things, Jungkook. Things I am not proud of. Jungkook moved around the table, sat on Thang's lap, wrapping his arm around his. I don't care about the things you have done in the past. All I care about the person you are now, the person you are with me. Taeyang bruised his face in Jungkook's neck, inhaling his accent. I don't deserve you. That's not true, Jungkook said firmly. You deserve all the happiness in the world, and I am going to make sure you have it every single day. Taeyang pulled back and looked into his husband's eyes. They were so full of love, full of trust, full of everything. I love you, Thang whispered. I love you more than I thought I was possibly to love anyone. I love you too, Jungkook whispered back. More than all the stars in the sky. And then they kissed long, deep, full of promises. Later that night, they were curled up in the bed together, watching a movie on Jungkook's laptop. Jungkook was snuggling against them, chest, his fingers tracing lazy patterns on his husband's skin. Tete, Jungkook said softly, Taeyang pressed against the top of his head. I will never get mad at you, not for something like that. You could have been really angry. A lot of people would have, but I'm not. A lot of people think said I'm your husband and I love you. Jungkook turned in his arms and looked at him. Can I ask you something? Anything? Are you really okay? Jungkook asked, his eyes searching. Taehyung's like, really okay? Taehyung curved his husband's cheek. I'm more than okay. I'm happy because I have you, and that's all I need. Jungkook's eyes welled up with tears again, but this time they were tears of joy. I'm really sorry, Jungkook said, for scaring you. Already forgotten, Taeyang said, kissing his forehead. You are really not mad. Not even a single little bit. Jungkook smiled, his funny teeth showing. You are the best husband ever. I know, Taeyang said, grinning. I'm amazing. Jungkook laughed and hit him playfully. So full of yourself. Only when I'm with you, Taehyung said. You bring out the best in me, and as they lie there in each other's arms watching the movie, forgetting the world outside, Taehyung realized something. This was happiness pure, not the kind that came from power or money or fear, the kind that came from love, from having someone who saw you for who you really were and loved you anyway. His baby Jungkook had scared him to death, but he had also given him life, and that was something Taehyung would never forget. You know what? Taehyung murmured as Jungkook drifted off sleep. Jungkook's eyes were already closed. I can't wait to grow old with you, Taehyung whispered. Even if you do end up giving me an heart attack, someday, Jungkook smiled. His voice was soft, sleepy. I love you, Titi. I love you too, baby, forever and always. As the moon rose high in the sky, casting its silver light through the window, the merciless mafia boss held his childish husband close, graceful, and every moment they lied together, had together because in the end, it wasn't fear that defined their relationship. It was love, deep, unending, all consuming love, and that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. See you again, as always. Bye bye.